Welcome to this week's edition of Mainly Motorsports, here with Greg Emerson, and finally did it. Archie, we had him on.
Had that Cup debut.
Yeah, 3 years, Thursday Thunder, the Cup. He sent me a text while the Cup race was going on and sent me that. I did it. Took me 3 years, but I went from Thursday Thunder to Cup. So congratulations. They qualified this past weekend for
Darlington.
They
qualified, very well. I mean, he was he qualified 29th.
I think he was the top go-homer.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And sat on the pole for
a while,
13
right.
cars,
Got him some exposure there.
And I know they were supporting Team Kyle, had a lot of Team Kyle logos on that thing, and you can go to, he's got a blog out there that talks a little bit about this Kyle and, everything that him and his family have been dealing with.
I think they also signed a deal with, I think it was Coma energy drink, not energy drink, it was like a relaxation drink or whatever. Archie probably needed that.
Oh yeah, I don't know how Archie does it. Everybody thinks I got a lot on my plate. That dude's got some, he's got some stuff on his plate. But, speaking of Archie's plate, the big thing that we did all winter, now Friday night, I am so excited, and I can't thank Peggy Timmons enough for having this idea or this vision, or maybe other people had visions, but having the ambition to step up and put on the Young Gun Party. And right at her house, we've invited a lot of people, and it's open to everybody.
Right.
Obviously, I'm hoping 3,000 people don't show up. Peggy might be overwhelmed, and it'll be bigger than the Summerfest they do at Wyndham. So we're sending invitations. If you don't get an invitation, but you still like to come and be a part of this, all 10 drivers are going to show up, and we got them flying up from North Carolina, coming down from Fort Kent. It just worked out Friday night.
Yeah, it's the place it's the one place you're going to want to be to see all the young guns at once.
Every one of them.
Hopefully they can all make it,
and
all
we've
travel
pretty
plans
much
work out.
pretty much got confirmation that every one of them is going to be there, and what a photo opportunity to get all 10 of them together.
And Archie's going to be there too.
And Archie,
correct?
So get them all to meet each other, and
right.
just going to be a good time. So if you're coming, bring a bag of cookies or a whoopie pie or something. We're just all going to bring some food, and it's going to be a really good time. And if you got any questions, you can obviously contact me through email or phone call, and and we'll let you know what you got to do to where it is. It's real easy to find. It's actually on 302. The address is called 8 Mimi Lane. So hopefully a lot of people come out and support. For the Young Guns, we got 10 of them. Bring your family, bring your friends, bring your sponsors, bring anybody you want to bring. This is about you guys. And speaking of Young Guns, this past weekend, 3 of them now have stood in victory lane. Started with Evan Boyer, then Joey Dwyron, and the young lady. After 2 rough weeks of engine failures up there in the Strictly division.
She finally got one to hold together.
Yeah, she got one to hold together and put the number 08 in victory lane. So congratulations to Shelby. And I don't think we've seen the last of our young guns standing in victory lane. So the people that spoke at the Northeast Motorsports Expo and decided that these were the 10 that they thought were worthy.
They obviously did a good job picking.
They know. So mark your calendars Friday night. So if you're watching this Wednesday, you got 2 days, and if you're watching this on Friday night, you missed it. So, but hopefully
party's over.
Party's over, baby. I don't know. Come over, Peggy. Probably still got a little something for you. But so we got that. We got a great show planned today. We're kind of going to spend a little time talking about Star. We had one of their drivers come in and come in the studio and talk about his take on. He runs the Strictly division down there. So it's going to be great. We got our last final segment with Reed Lamper, and you're going to like this one, Greg. The big guy and the kid were playing basketball. So, but we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about Star and what to look for this season down there.
Today's vehicles are equipped with complex safety features such as anti-lock brakes, seatbelt restraints, and airbag systems, even collision avoidance systems. Not available in all models. Hi, I'm Sean Moody from Moody's Collision Centers. We don't wish bad luck on anyone, but even with today's technology, we need to keep our eyes on the road and our hands on the wheel.
Moody's Collision Centers, now with 6 convenient locations.
Patman's Redemption and Agency Liquor Store is located at 95 Tanberg Trail in Windham, Maine. With over 400 feet of hard liquor and 15 doors of ice-cold beer and soda, Patman's can handle all of your beverage needs. And if it's wine on your agenda, we have over 300 varieties in stock. Then when the party's over, Patman's can handle all of your main returnables, and we welcome all bottle drives. And if you're late for the race, drop off the bottles and pick up the cash at your convenience.
Hey, this is Pat Man himself, just letting you know that Pat Man's is your one-stop shop for all your thirsty needs.
Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by Award Champs, rewarding your champions. The official supplier of Mainely Motorsports. LKQ Core, any part, any repair, anywhere. Located on Route 202 in Gorham.
Well, Greg, this past weekend I traveled over to Star. They kind of kicked off, had a couple of their opening divisions, and I wanted to see what was going on over there. And I'll tell you, the Weber family, and I know they got a lot of support, and it showed during the off season when, you know, with the contingency of quality of people and cars that they brought to Augusta and Portland. You know, they've really stepped up, and I'm expecting big things there this year. So
yeah, Little Bobby's always had a lot of heart and soul into it, and from what I hear, I wasn't able to go down, but from what I hear, they've made a bunch of improvements.
Yeah, you know, nice banners all over.
I was going to say, including from one of the improvements I heard was a nice Mainly Motorsports.
Yeah, we got
banner.
the 3-turn all to ourselves, so I don't know if it's because, you know, nobody wants to be involved with us and doesn't like us, or that's just where they put us. But no, I think it's just where they put us. But, you know, it looked good, so it's going to show up, and maybe you'll be able to go to a website this week and see some pictures of it over some, you know, there was a lot of action going on there last night and well, last weekend, and so it was fun, and I'm excited. We're going down this Saturday night for the opener, and you know, there's really the closest place you can go to see the open wheel modifieds.
Yeah, and you know, you go to Star to see the open wheel modifieds, but you go to Star to see the open wheel modifieds driven by two of Maine's hot, you know, drivers that are in the early 20s.
And I think that you got a lot of things going to be happening there this year. You got the mods, you got the outlaws. They had 23 outlaws last night. You want to see some guys got wings. Joe the Show Squealia had his car direct from Howe. Bought it direct from Howe. You know, beautiful looking. You know, but you know, they had a good car Conor minis. They got some other classes that didn't open up this past weekend.
What's the rules for the outlaws? You told me. You got to tell them.
4 tires at all. You know, the tire rule and the 2-barrel. Other than that, bring it. You know, that's my kind of class. Matter of fact, we were talking, and I was with my buddy Lux, and I said, let's buy one. We'll buy one halves, and we'll have Penfold drive it, and we'll go race. But I don't think Bobby Weber really needs to have that every week, me, Lux, and Penfold, because them two are kooks, and I'll just wind the kooks up, you know. But, you know, I want to talk about that modified deal because, you know, I know they got some other competitors up in that area, but, you know, Josh Cantera captured the championship last year for Goodwin and Ann. Jacob Dorr showed up at the end of the year after running the modified, the Volante series, won a couple races. So now it's like a head-to-head battle. And I think, you know, every track in the state.
Because the Dorr family's planning on running there every week now.
Every week. And
they're going to, you know, they're going to be tough. They're going to give Josh and Goodwin and the whole Hannaford racing team anything that they want to handle.
You know, I was thinking of tracks this week, and everyone's got their battle, you know. I mean, it used to be, you know, Oxford for years, you had them 2 guys, and this, you know, Beechridge has got them this year, and Unity, and everybody's trying to, you know, you got those rivalries. I think this is going to be huge, and not in a negative manner, because they're all friends, they're all together. They were supportive at the shows, and they all talk. But you know, both cars have a lot of orange in it, so I think that's the team colors. But it's going to be a battle, and I expect that, you know, the championship battle will be determined at Star in the modified division between Jacob Dorr and Josh Cantera. And I'm looking forward to them going down this weekend, opening night, and you know, see who throws the gauntlet down first. You know, see if one of them can put it in victory lane and kind of set the bar.
It's the Jake and Josh show.
Yeah, but I'm also interested in the side show to the Jake and Josh show.
What's that?
The cook-off. Because I think, and I've heard from other people down there that Debbie Dorr and Ann Hannaford like bring big meals and stuff, and always sweets and desserts and stuff after. So, you know, I mean, that's good for a guy like me, huh? To mingle around, you know, just, you know, you'll have to. So you race on Saturday night.
You're going to walk up there and you're going to have your half-gallon of milk, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, I got to bring my own milk because nobody brings milk. Well, I have sweets and cookies and stuff. I like to have my milk. So I'll have my own milk. You know, we'll show up with I just show up with a camera and a milk. But going to be a great time. So, you know, we got a lot of race fans here. And if you're not tied into that one track and you want to see some great racing this year, Star is going to be a place to see. I was very impressed with their locals and the car count they have.
And Star is only, you know, an hour and 15, hour and a half minute drive from Southern Maine. So it's not that far.
Took me an hour and a half to get home there from Wyndham, you know, and this past weekend. So, and the facility really looks beautiful. I'm telling you, it's going to be good. And You know,
They brought it.
And I know we still have a lot of open wheel modified fans right here. And there is no, you know, Oxford and Beech Ridge both gave the Volante series the year off this year. You know, they're both going to try to look for dates in the future. So if you want to see modified action, open wheel action, and then go with a vested interest and cheer for the main guys, go to Star Speedway's, you know, website and check it out and pick a night you can show up.
Right, yeah.
You know, and then when you're there, go over and see Ann or Debbie and tell them, hey, the guy at Mainely Motorsports told me I could get something to eat. So they'll feed you. If they don't, come see me. I'll take care of it. All right, but we're going to hear from one of their Strictly stars a little bit later in the episode with Conor McDougall stop in the studio, and you know, really a nice young man, you know, and talking to him, and you'll hear his take on the Young Gun thing. You know, he's from New Hampshire, knows a lot of guys follow it. That's what, you know, if it was ever, and we were ever to include New Hampshire and stuff like that, that's the cat that you like to have. You know what I mean? Because he's well-spoken and and you guys will be impressed with everything this kid's got going on. He's got a bright future. Maybe not in racing. You know, it ain't like always going NASCAR in life. The kid really gets it. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, it's going to be part 2 of me and Reed. Just sitting down with a 13-year-old, and I'll tell you, this cat's got some talent. I mean, he's run 3 legend car races. I mean, by the time we air this, he's already had run a 4th. But 3 legend car races, 3 top 5s for a 13-year-old. I believe the kid's the real deal, and he's getting ready to make his Granite State Pro Stock Series, you know, start coming up in a week or 2. So hear what Reed has to say, and watch some of the shots that the big guy makes. So just imagine if I was a little bit lighter on my feet, what I could do with a basketball between my hands, huh? We'll take a break, and we'll be back in a little bit.
5 years ago, I went shopping for my family's first camper. I didn't like the prices, and I didn't like the way I was treated. A year later, I opened up Scott's Recreation.
Today, Scott's Recreation is Maine's exclusive multi-line Heartland dealer, along with being Maine's #1 fifth-wheel dealer 2 years in a row. Browse through the new 2012 Heartland models or take advantage of closeout prices on 2011s. Scott's welcomes almost anything in trade, financing available too. Scott's Recreation, Route 202 in Manchester, and their new Turner location on Route 4.
Clark's Car Crushing has been a family-owned and operated business since 1978. We do everything from crushing cars, handling industrial scraps, to buying the scrap metal right out of the back of your pickup. Copper, brass, stainless steel, aluminum, you name it, we'll buy it. We have roll-off containers of all sizes for industrial accounts. We'll handle the legwork with full drop-off and pickup services. So for a professional job, guaranteed honest weights, and top dollar paid statewide, come see the Clark family in Farmingdale, Maine. Clark's Car Crushing. Don't fix it, scrap it.
Hey, I'm Steve Mignonti. You might see me on the Barrett Jackson Collector Car Auctions on Speed Channel, or maybe read my stuff in Hot Rod and Carcraft magazine. But when I'm in Maine, I get my fix from Mainly Motorsports.
Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by Northern Race Tire, dealer for Sunoco Race Fuels, distributed by New England Racing Fuel.
Moody's Collision Centers, now with 7 convenient locations: Gorham, Scarborough, Biddeford, Portland, Sanford, Lewiston, and now South Portland. Visit us at moodyscollision.com.
Welcome to Mainly Motorsports.
To order copies of a show, send a check or money order for $15, shipping and handling included, to Mainly Motorsports, 326 Roosevelt Trail, Windham, Maine, 04062. And please add a description of the show.
You first.
Me first?
Play pig or something.
All right, you play pig? All right. Now, other than racing, you're a big sports guy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Play in the middle school, going to high school next year. Are you going to be able to continue to play ball?
Yeah, I'm hoping to play some either freshman or JV basketball this winter.
Where are you going to end up going to high school?
Maranacook.
Uh-oh. There's my P.
Yeah, I'm playing baseball right now. That keeps me pretty busy during the week.
Yeah. So, what do you think racing, I mean, it's a team sport, but ultimately the results you're going to achieve are going to be with you behind the wheel.
Yeah.
How does that compare with basketball or baseball? You know, I mean,
well,
I know we call it a race team, but technically the driver is the guy that gets it done. You know, you need the other guys, but at the end of the day, you're the guy that needs to not make the biggest amount of mistakes.
Yeah. It's a lot different in several ways, I guess. A lot more people involved, I guess, in sports.
Now, you realize you can't let me win this game, right?
Okay.
What sport's your favorite? Baseball or basketball?
I like basketball quite a bit. It's just a lot more active and doing stuff all the time, I guess.
Now, your sister, does she do any sports?
No, she just does her horse thing.
You know, and that's one thing I've noticed. A lot of times you have siblings and, you know, always at each other, not supportive of each other, but from an outsider looking in, oh, there's your P, by the way. From an outsider looking in, you guys look like you got a pretty good, tight-knit relationship. You know, she's very supportive of your racing. Oh, what the heck? You know? Is she? Or am I just seeing things that aren't there?
Yeah, whenever she's not busy with friends or horses or whatever, she comes to all my races. She's very supportive.
Yeah.
We don't hate each other too bad.
We don't hate each other. You can't. Oh, there we go. But, you know, and it's pretty neat. And I know she's pretty excited. And she even tried racing herself there last year.
Yeah, she got into a cart and she did very well for her first time.
Yeah.
Wasn't really scared by any means.
No.
Oh.
So, do you realize that you got a PI?
Now, I'm just making it interesting.
What's that?
Just making it interesting.
Do I have to prove it?
Let's go. Let's go. Oh, I'm in trouble.
What do you think of that?
We'll see.
Now, don't tell me you're one of the starters on your team, right?
We have to change it to Piggy instead of Pig.
Piggy?
Oh.
So that means I just won.
Oh. Best out of 3?
Best out of 3?
I'd have to win 2 in a row. I mean, you can't go
All right,
wrong
I'll
there.
give you another shot to get your money back.
Okay.
We did play for 500, right?
Yeah.
No, so obviously you guys, you know, I remember when you first showed up at Richmond, talked to your dad, didn't know you, just general conversation. You know, you'd run at Thunder and Valley, but he wanted to put you what he thought was in front of some tougher competition.
Yeah.
And then you've taken that model and continued with it with moving into the Legend Series. Now, 4 or 5 years ago, I think the Legend Series was struggling for cars, you know. Now they seem to be one of the strongest series in the Northeast. I mean, you think that's the right move? I mean,
yeah, I think that going up against the tougher the competition, you don't get better from racing against slow guys or people not above your level, and I think that's helped me a ton. I mean, Buffington, Gray, I mean, all those guys at Loudon, Bob Weymouth, all those guys, they got a lot more experience than me, and I learn a lot from them.
yeah, and I think that's the key with young drivers is you have to know, you have to learn. Every race, you got to take something out of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Bob, he's taught me so much. I mean, right down to maintaining the cars every week. I mean, I go down there before every race, and we go through stuff. And before he started showing me, I was just kind of guessing about half the stuff.
Yeah? Now, you got no girlfriends?
Not right now, no.
All right, you need to get a girlfriend. Because if the girlfriend was around, we'd have somebody to chase the ball. I mean, obviously 13, there's no need to rush things, but probably not much time for girlfriends, right?
Nah, sports, racing.
School, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
On the honor roll.
Yeah.
Thought you had me, didn't you?
I did. I'm gonna have to go deeper.
Now, did you know the big guy could shoot?
Yeah?
I always like to shoot from outside. You know why?
Why?
Because when you had to go back and play defense, you were close to the other end already.
That's great.
Now, what's the next step after Legends?
Well, this year I'm gonna be competing in some pro stock races, and that's really looking forward to trying that thing out. It's gonna be a lot different. I've heard from a couple people that it's not any harder to drive than a Legends car because power to weight ratio, but it's just different. So.
Oh yeah, you know, when that's any level, the next steps, there's always something that's different. But let's talk about a couple guys that race Legends. Uh-oh. So now I get the first shot, right? Now we're tied up. This is for all the marbles.
This is it.
Cassius Clark, Corey Williams. Both of them went the Legend route.
Yeah.
Really dominated in their era.
Mm.
And we know how that transpired into their Super Late Model success.
Yeah. Yeah, actually I know Cassius fairly well, and he said that it was huge, and he says that Legends, coming out of Legends, he was pretty much fast right into Super Late Models out of them.
Yeah. Oh. So were you sandbagging?
Maybe.
Don't
I said I was making it interesting.
Make it interesting. Uh-oh. There's my pee.
I would get into trick shots, but...
Trick shots? Listen, I'm 46 years old. I don't need to be doing trick shots and breaking an ankle. I mean, I know I'm speeding up the process, but where do you see the Super Late Model deal taking you?
I mean, our goal is in a year or two here. I'm not eligible to run Beach Ridge yet, and that would be, I mean, the Pro Series there, and maybe a couple patch races here and there in a few years. I mean, I think that'd be an awesome goal. I'd be more than happy with doing some of those races.
Yeah.
Maybe go for run a full season at Beach Ridge. And I mean, it'd be cool then. I mean, still be in Legends car Thursday nights, and
there's your spot.
Saturday race the big car. I mean, never know. Oh, you're getting me on the short stuff.
Yeah, see, this one's gonna be a battle.
Patman's Redemption and Agency Liquor Store is located at 95 Tanberg Trail in Windham, Maine. With over 400 feet of hard liquor and 15 doors of ice-cold beer and soda, Patman's can handle all of your beverage needs. And if it's wine on your agenda, we have over 300 varieties in stock. Then when the party's over, Patman's can handle all of your main returnables, and we welcome all bottle drives. And if you're late for the race, drop off the bottles and pick up the cash at your convenience.
Hey, this is Pat Man himself, just letting you know that Pat Man's is your one-stop shop for all your thirsty needs.
All of us at Moody's Collision Centers would like to thank you for supporting us for over 30 years.
We all own stock in Moody's and have a vested interest in you and your vehicle.
The people at Moody's Collision Centers are part of the community, and our reputation is very important to us.
We take pride in our work and guarantee our repairs for as long as you own your vehicle.
At Moody's Collision Center, we care about our customers.
So when your insurance company asks where you want to go, tell them Moody's Collision Centers. 4 convenient locations: Gorham, Scarborough, Biddeford, and now Portland.
Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by Clark's Car Crushing, located in Hollowell, providing guaranteed honest weights with top dollar being paid. Gary Hotels, located in Brunswick, Freeport, Waterville, and Augusta, the official hotel of Mainly Motorsports.
Hey, I'm Kyle Busch, and when I'm in Maine, I watch Mainly Motorsports.
Oh, you're getting me on the short stuff.
Yeah, see, this one's going to be a battle.
Oh, robbed.
How about college? Is that in the future? Now, obviously, you're probably like every typical 13-year-old. You think, you know, you want to make that career in racing, but is college in the future? I mean, we haven't even got into high school yet, but
yeah, for sure. That's actually that's gonna be a huge decision for me. If I was really lucky, just without really thinking, just be pretty sweet if I could find a place in North Carolina, maybe do a couple races here and there throughout the summer while I'm down there. But that's really tough. We haven't really sat down.
I mean, you got. Look at that, baby.
Oh.
Not bad, huh?
What are we at right now?
We both got peas.
Ooh.
See, look. You backed it up. I think you're just playing with me.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there's obviously, you got years before you got to make that decision, but it's always there, too, because, you know, going into high school next year, you know, it's the last 4 years of really childhood.
Yeah.
Now, do you have much time for the normal stuff? The friends?
Yeah. I mean, during the week, especially before sports season, the most. I don't have the most time, but I mean, I practice 4 to 5 times during the week, and I normally miss my Saturday practice because of racing deals and stuff. But I mean, at school and everything, I mean, but stay pretty busy. Normally my off day during the week without sports, I'm always down at Bob's working on the cars or doing my best to maintain and put a little effort, take a little stress off them.
Uh-oh. Now you're putting stress on me. What's your favorite subject in school?
Lunch.
Oh yeah, that's every kid.
That's toughy. I hate reading.
You hate reading?
Hate reading.
But you got, you know, you say you hate it, but you're on the honor roll.
Yeah.
So
I've put a lot of effort in to keep my grades up, and that's always tough.
Yeah, because I'm sure that's one of the things that, knowing your parents, they that's important to them, and that's one of the criteria is to keep you on the sports field and on the racetrack. So this could be my G, right?
Could be it.
Jeez. I mean, I guess there's no shame if I got beat by a 13-year-old that's a good basketball player,
Oh,
right?
Stays alive. Stays alive.
See, I can handle the pressure.
Not even close.
Now, what do you got?
Do I got P or PI?
I think we're both are we both at PI? So we got to rewind the tape and look.
We can always make it interesting and say PI.
No, I don't want, no, because you'll...
Then if I lose.
And if you lose, right? Whoops. You'll be like every other 13-year-old.
Of course.
Why, he beat me. Beat up on the kid, right?
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that we talk about kids and racing. And I notice about you and your dad, you don't play that kid deal, you know? You realize that, you know, your dad realizes, you know, if he's going to put you out there in that situation, you can't play the kid card. You know, you can't toot your kid's horn when he is beating the adults and say, "Oh, my little boy, look at him go," you know.
Yeah.
But then, when the adults beat up or might get a little rough, or you know, turn it around and say, "Well, he's only a kid."
Exactly. They'd by no means take it easy on me because I'm a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
For sure. Oh, short ones.
All right, we're done.
Tied.
So we're tied. Now you realize if I win, we will show this part on TV, right?
Uh-oh.
And if you win, we never played basketball.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
That's it. That's it.
That's it?
That's it.
You know what's pretty neat though? I mean, with everything you've got going, everything you know, fortunate situation, the family business, and you know, you're still grounded. You know, you're not grounded to the house, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You understand life, you understand priorities, you know, you got the
Definitely.
schooling figured out. And, you know, one thing about the racing, you guys have been fortunate enough to align yourself with some good people.
Yeah.
Mission Trailers.
Yeah.
And anybody in the state of Maine knows what Peter Prescott and Steve Prescott have accomplished in motorsports.
Yeah, I mean, EJP, Stevie, they have been a huge help throughout coming up, mods, legends. I mean, Mission Trailers has been, I mean, without those guys, would be way far behind. Way far behind. I mean, they help out a ton.
Now, what do you think, you know, when you guys walk in over at EJP, you walk through, maybe you guys come through the side door or the back door, but when you walked in the front room and they got pictures, you know, where their stuff's ran at Daytona, ran at Darlington, you know, they got fire suits from guys that they've been associated with, helmets. I mean, it's such a big deal up there, and they have such a history in not only Maine motorsports, but NASCAR. I mean, what does a young kid like Reed Lanford think when he walks in there? I mean, you just dream and say, man, I wish, I hope, I dream.
Yeah, it's pretty jaw-dropping to walk in there and just for me to realize how fortunate I am, especially to have EJP back me with everybody and everything that they've been associated to throughout their years of racing and right through the truck series. And I mean, they've done some pretty major ranks. And
because everything that Peter's touched in motorsports has worked. You know, he was Kevin LePage, Ricky Craven, Andy Santerre, Steve Parks, Steve Prescott, you know, Cassius Clark. I mean, he was with Ed Chapman when Cassius got his start. They had Team EJP on it, and you know, and boom. So they see talent, you know, but they don't only look for talent, and nor does any other sponsor. You know, obviously you want the results and the talent, but in today's age, you know, you can't have that bad boy either. You can't have the guy that's in the news, the kid that's, you know, and so they see that in you, and they see that there's a potential of a bright future. Maybe not NASCAR level, but in the Northeast, there's nothing wrong with being a star at your local area.
Yeah, definitely.
In closing, anything else you need to say or want to talk about or thank?
I mean, without my dad and all of my sponsors and my dad's businesses, I mean, it wouldn't be possible to do what I do. Scotch Recreation, Holton Power Sports, and EJP, Mission, all those guys are just huge for my racing, and they help out a ton.
Yeah, and I really believe, and I could be wrong, as I've been wrong before, but I'm not wrong a lot when it comes to young talent, that you are the next one to come from that age bracket, to step up, that people are going to see and realize that, you know, wow, this kid's got some talent. So, you know, I look forward to watching you. You know, enjoy the races that you and Alicia have had together, and you're a clean racer, and that's key, because it is so tough for you young racers to take that next step, because you're coming in, and some are going to welcome you with open arms, but they're at every level. Some of them are like already against you before you're even strapped into the car, because they don't want to get beat by you. Obviously, you've got some support behind you financially, so you know they're envious of that, and it's going to be hard for you to earn the respect. But by racing them clean and treating them with respect and going to them for questions and answers and listening and not walking in and making them think that you know more than them, that's how you're going to gain respect. And it's happened at the Legends. I'm sure it's going to happen in the Granite State Pro Stock Series, and it'll happen when you get down to Beech Ridge. And at every level, you just keep doing what you're doing, and you'll find that success.
Yeah, I really hope I can continue to gain respect of the better drivers, and I haven't yet really made anybody mad or lost any respect for anybody, so hope to continue that.
No, so for all you Maine racers, viewers, fans that, you know, want to know who this kid is, you'll start seeing him rolling into these racetracks, and the number 59, right? Why the number 59? Just curious.
Well,
Where'd that come from?
back in motocross when I was 509, and I think that we couldn't really come up with something, and my birthday, May 9th, and we just shortened it to a 2-digit number for 59 for karts, and then it's been mine all the way through.
So, no, I've had a great time. I'm glad you invited me out to your house, your parents. We had a great time Friday night, you know, here, and taught me how to ride a wheelie, and then you beat me 2 out of 3. But you got to admit, did I surprise you?
Yeah, that's close.
So wait, now maybe I'll get in shape, and next year we'll come back and we'll play one-on-one.
Okay.
All right?
Sounds good.
Good job, kiddo.
Thank you.
Where is the best place to get a new Chrysler, Dodge, or Jeep?
Southern Maine Motors.
Southern Maine Motors.
Southern Maine Motors.
The new 2012 Dodge Grand Caravan delivers. Chances are you'll need to stop before it will. Delivering more than 25 miles per gallon, that's 500 miles per tank. Errands, soccer, baseball, or loaded full of college stuff, you'll get it all done easily with your new minivan from Southern Maine Motors. No other dealer is working as hard to be #1 as Southern Maine Motors.
5 years ago, I went shopping for my family's first camper. I didn't like the prices, and I didn't like the way I was treated. A year later, I opened up Scott's Recreation.
Today, Scott's Recreation is Maine's exclusive multi-line Heartland dealer, along with being Maine's #1 fifth-wheel dealer 2 years in a row. Browse through the new 2012 Heartland models or take advantage of closeout prices on 2011s. Scott's welcomes almost anything in trade, financing available too. Scott's Recreation, Route 202 in Manchester, and their new Turner location on Route 4.
Mainly Motorsports. Brought to you by Award Champs, rewarding your champions. The official supplier of Mainly Motorsports. Southern Maine Motors, out to be Maine's #1 Chrysler Dodge Jeep dealership. Route 1 Saco.
Bentley Saloon.
Bentley's is a biker bar that welcomes everyone.
Check out the fun at BentleySaloon.com.
And see why Bentley says, who has more fun than us? We do.
Now, May 27th, which is, a little over a week away, the Butch Burgess Memorial Race. They're putting that together up at Unity. I think it's neat,
Yeah.
John Fippen, they've done some in the past, families getting together, racers getting together, kind of, memorializing somebody that put so much into this sport. And Butch Burgess was one of those guys, started BRF fabrication with his son Jeff,
Right.
and now there's a lot of race cars up in the...
And he was a 3-time champ at Unity and, raced for years, like from the late 60s.
And was one of those guys walking through the pits, would help anybody. Even if you didn't have one of his cars, he'd still want to stop and help you and, try to guide you into the right direction, and that's been passed along to the next generation with Jeff,
Yeah, and he had a long career. I mean, he started late 60s. I think he ended like around 93, somewhere in there.
Yeah, so.
But still was involved. And
Yeah.
so now they have this memorial race.
May 27th over to Unity.
Starting at 1 p.m., which the 27th is a Sunday.
So, you might be able to drag some competitors and fans and stuff from other tracks, and which is good. They're going to run a 34-lap late model race, 34-lap Wildcat race. His number was 34. And,
Right.
So it's kind of, they're doing a lot of fun things, a lot of giveaways, and one of the things for the kids, but I bet you'll see a lot of adults get involved.
It ain't for the kids, it's going to be for the adults.
It's the model contest,
Right.
and, you build your favorite Butch Burgess car, and then, it's going to be...
They should do a kids category and an adult
well,
category.
And what's going to happen
adults,
is...
some people get right into it.
The car, the model, is going to go to Butch's wife, and you get a $100 bill. So there is a winner, and which I think is pretty good. So get out and support the Burgess family and everything they got going on. You'll see the posters we have here, and we'll put one up on the website and just talk about it. And
the Burgess family is just another great Maine racing family. They have background from the beginning of Maine racing, all the way up to now.
Yeah.
To Jeff and the X. So
yeah, so so it's good, and all the information's here, and you'll find it on our website, and you can they're plastering it all over there, and on Facebook. So
speaking of Facebook, Unity started a Unity Racing Memories and Photos, just like Beechridge and Oxford have, and Thunder Road and everybody. So check that out. It's pretty cool.
And speaking of that, I was sitting with Brad Layton and his wife Lynn last night at Star for a while, and talking to them about that. And Lynn was all excited because I was telling them a lot of talk about Brad over the years. And me and Brad, I'll tell you, we sat there for 15, 20 minutes just talking about the old days in Limited, and just anybody that thinks Brad Layton don't want to race no more is wrong. Brad Layton still got it because, when we were talking, he was, the voice, the volume, everything amplified a little bit because he was just,
Right.
So it was neat to catch up with Brad. I mean, I hate to think of Brad as an old timer now, but he is. I mean, he's not Hall of Fame material yet, but I'd still want to see him behind the wheel of a race car.
Absolutely.
So we're going to take a break. When we come back, you're going to hear from Conor McDougall, who
races at Star in the Strictly's.
Nice kid, real nice kid. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Clark's Car Crushing has been a family-owned and operated business since 1978. We do everything from crushing cars, handling industrial scraps, to buying the scrap metal right out of the back of your pickup. Copper, brass, stainless steel, aluminum, you name it, we'll buy it. We have roll-off containers of all sizes for industrial accounts. We'll handle the legwork with full drop-off and pickup services. So for a professional job, guaranteed honest weights, and top dollar paid statewide, come see the Clark family in Farmingdale, Maine. Clark's Car Crushing. Don't fix it, scrap it.
Welcome to Mainly Motorsports.
To order copies of a show, send a check or money order for $15, shipping and handling included, to Mainly Motorsports, 326 Roosevelt Trail, Windham, Maine, 04062. And please add a description of the show.
Welcome back to Mainly Motorsports, and you heard me and Greg talking earlier in the show, talking about the mod guys, and Star Speedway is going to be a happening place. You want to see some great racing, and you know, especially on the open wheel side of things. But we thought we'd bring one of the more noted and more famous drivers into the studio, right? You're famous, right?
Oh, I'm not really, no.
Famous, you know. Well, I knew about you, and I'd never even met you, but I knew about you, you know. But it's Conor McDougall, and don't let the beard fool you, you know. You say, well, this is an old fella. He's still in high school, right?
Yeah, senior in high school.
Senior in high school. So 2012's big year for you, you know, life-changing and all that.
Going off to college, yeah.
Yeah,
Big
lacrosse
deal.
player. But, you know, we were just talking before we come on the air, you know, kind of joking and making reference about the full beard. You don't see that, but tell the viewers what this, I mean, there's a little bit of charity going on, a little fundraising with this beard.
Yeah, the town I live in, we kind of have like a deal for hospice, and I don't know, it's just kind of a cool gig. You get donations, and, you know, once a year we shave. So, I mean, there's more grizzly guys than I am out there. So
yeah, and hospice, a lot of people don't know, is it's a you know, a company, or, you know, it's like a hospital type of thing.
Yes.
When somebody you know, there's the terminal and it's done. And my grandmother went through it, and she stayed at hospice, and they take care of you and they stay with you until you do pass away. So that's, I mean, to be, you know, your age and to be doing something like that, I mean, that's, you know, these kids get it, you know, and you're another one. So my hat's off to you. But
thank you.
Racing, let's talk racing now.
All right.
5 years, right?
Yeah, 5 6 years. Yeah.
Did you
going at it?
Did you start writing cars, or did you?
We started at Sugar Hill Speedway and the Tiger Sprints and stuff, and worked our way up. We did like junior champs for a year or so, and we kind of just putted around, won a championship, and then we got into 4-cylinder trucks up at White Mountain.
Yeah.
So, and that was a cool gig, and then we ended up at Star.
Your introduction to the big cars was at White Mountain, and you know, you mentioned something that we hear a lot about up here with our young drivers, karts. A lot of them start in karts, and it's a good learning curve, and it gives you the technique of how to race. And that's what I try to tell these young racers. It isn't about winning 14 races a year. It's you're learning how to race.
Right.
You know, where to pick your spots, and I think that's so important. You know, and you compete weekly now at Star, but have you run any other tracks other than White Mountain and Star?
We ran Beach Ridge last year with the Pass Tour, the Pass Wildcats, and we did another White Mountain show. We won up there. But other than that, we've just been running Star, and we went up to Canaan once, and I think that was it. So,
So the win at White Mountain, would you consider that one of your career highlights at a young age?
That was big. You know, we're a low fund operation, and to go up against guys like Albie Ovitt and, you know, David Vaughn, guys have been winning, you know, for a long time, Dan Bean, and, you know, for them to be throwing on stickers and, you know, we're just showing up with junk tires, you know, to win that race was really cool.
Yeah, and to win, you know, with a regional touring series, you know.
Right.
But you're absolutely right. So other than that win at White Mountain, what other type of success have you seen in the Strictly?
In the Strictlys, we did pretty good up at White Mountain a couple years ago. My first year in the car, we actually did really good. We ended up getting a couple wins my rookie year, which I really wasn't expecting. And we've just been working on the car hard, you know. I mean, you're going to have, you know, failures and stuff, but which it haunted us a lot last year at Star. But I don't know, hopefully we get a couple more wins this year.
No, we're talking about Star, and, you know, the Weber family took it over.
Yep.
The showstopper had it.
Yeah.
They shut it down. I mean, it was down for a year. I mean, nobody knew. Everybody thought it was done.
Yep.
We had a track in our backyard, Wiscasset, nobody knows.
Yep.
But the Webbers stepped back in. Young Bobby Jr. done a great job.
Yeah.
And you guys are buying into the program. He's got a lot of help and a lot of support. And,
he's huge.
You know, last year was growing. This year looks to be really, really good.
Oh yeah, last year was big, and like they say, this year's gonna be even bigger. I mean, car count's gonna be way up. Outlaws through the roof. I'm hearing upwards of like 40 cars.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's close to like Beach Ridge status, you know.
Yeah,
and for their second year to be back going.
And you see some of the photos we're showing on screen where they've cleaned up, you know, they've hung up signs, they've hung up banners, you know, and
they're doing a real nice job.
Gives it that
up.
Racetrack look, you know. I mean, when you see signage, I mean, you go in any cup race, there's signage everywhere. I mean, if you probably fold your seat up, you got a sign underneath it. So, and that's what it's all about. And you know, any sporting event, but you know, now it's nice to see racing, and now at the short track level, following along and trying to get all the sponsors they can involved, because it just means better facilities and better racing. It's going to be put on by all your racers.
Right. Yeah. It's huge.
Now, you watch the show in New Hampshire. You must have to. Can you watch it?
Yeah. I watch it all the time.
Online?
Channel 15. Channel 15.
You get it on?
I always get it. Yeah.
Now, which town do you live in?
Brookfield, New Hampshire.
All right. So there's another area. Heard from Brookfield. I mean, you have a lot of friends over there and stuff that watch it.
Yeah, I got a couple buddies. Yeah, Rochester, in Spalding, where I go to school. You know, they check it out.
Check it out. So that's good. So you've been following along with this young gun competition.
Oh yeah, it's huge.
How big is that?
It's a huge opportunity. I mean, for you know, just a high school kid like a lot of us there, like Evan and Bobby, just graduated and all that. I mean, it's a big deal to get into a NASCAR sanctioned car and a team, you know.
Yeah. So, you know, I mean, you're sitting there knowing that it was for a Maine driver.
Yeah.
You know, you're not that far from Maine, but I mean, that's got to eat at you a little bit.
A little bit. It is what it is, though.
But knowing these guys, and hopefully, you know, you'll know the winner, or you might know the winner, and it'll be pretty neat to feel like, you know, you can support them. And that's one of the things that I've told them all. Yeah. Now, 2012, you plan on competing weekly at Star.
Yep.
Challenging for a championship.
Yep.
Who's some of the toughest competitors you're going to go up against?
Steve Dickey's always quick. You know, he's always got a good car. John Swain has been building cars for years. I mean, Mike Williams, I heard, is coming back. We got a lot of Star cars that raced at Lee last year, and then they're going to come back to Star now. So, you know, like Steven Dufanet, he's always fast. I don't really know who else is going to be in the class. It's a new class, so... I've heard the car count's going to be good, though. So.
Now, do you guys build your own car chassis, or is that something that somebody else helped you with? Or?
Yeah, we build. I try to do almost 100% of the car out of shop. You know, I do rear ends. We do the motors. You know, we do almost everything. I reclipped the car this year, so I love doing fab. You know,
really,
it's big. Yeah.
Well, and then when you're standing in victory lane,
right,
it takes that much more pride for you and your guys.
Yeah, I'd way rather put the hours in, do the research than. Send the car down the road and spend a couple more bucks. You know, it's not really my style.
Yeah. Now, you got some great sponsors. You got some crew guys. You got people that have been with you over the years, huh?
Oh, yeah. Really stuck with me. My grandparents, my mom, my dad, been huge. You know, always supporting me. Stepmom, my brothers, everyone. You know, it's a team effort.
Yeah. So is most of your team that works with you in the pits and everything mostly family?
Mostly family, yeah. Like... my grandfather's there every weekend. My dad's every weekend. You know, it's huge. You know, I couldn't do it without him. I mean,
and that's one of the things you see in racing, and I enjoy because I'm involved with my own kid. But when you see the whole family, and everybody plays their part, and you see that with a couple of main teams coming up from the Doors and the Canteras. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously Josh driving for Goodwin and Ann, and it's like a big family atmosphere.
Oh yeah, it's huge. It's all oriented. I mean, the Doors. It's their grandparents and mom and dad. It's a real cool atmosphere when you're around those guys.
Yeah, no, it is. Now, how about some of the sponsors? I mean, you've been fortunate enough to get some help because everybody needs help to go racing.
Right. Yeah. I mean, especially being at high school. I got a part-time job, but that doesn't pay the bills.
Yeah, part-time. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I'm just a busboy. That doesn't pay the bills all the time. So.
Yep.
I got Excel Sportswear. They were a great sponsor for me. Gave me a nice fire suit.
Yeah, the suit looks nice.
Huge. Yeah. Got all my sponsors on it. So
yeah,
it's a big deal. Crowell's Towing. Razor Doc's a huge sponsor. They've been with me for years. Poor People's Pub, One Way Heating and Cooling, and Napa, and my biggest sponsor, Dick Batchelder. You know, he's in the Beech Ridge Hall of Fame, and he's won Star Classics. It's an honor to have him on the car.
Well, and you were saying earlier that he not only sends you checks,
yeah,
but he's also part of the team.
Oh, yeah,
he makes
he's
you,
huge.
You know, talks to you about, because you are, what, 18, 19 years old?
I'm 18, yeah.
You know, so you don't have a lot of experience. This guy's got years of wisdom.
Oh, yeah.
Probably forgot more about racing than me and you'll ever know, you know? So to make him feel like he's part of your organization, but, you know, and look up to him, and without even really knowing the situation, I'm sure there's a lot of mutual respect on both sides of things.
Oh, it's huge, yeah. And even like last year, when the ISMA Tour came to Star, he came down and he watched me, you know, he was helping me, you know, walking around the pits and stuff, talking to me. It's just, you know, it's really cool to have a guy that's so, you know, recognized in New England stock car racing and ISMA, you know, to have him on the car it's phenomenal.
You know, and what I like about that is he's made his mark in motorsports, obviously done racing, but he stays in the sport.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because there are guys, they were such a hero during their time, but when their time isn't all about them anymore, they walk away.
Right.
And you never hear from or see them again.
Yeah.
But to have a guy that's helping you, he's spending some money, helping you race, and being involved and trying to help you be a better racer, that's huge. And we got a few up here that do a lot on, you know, behind the scenes you might not see, but they're out sponsoring other guys or sponsoring other events. So that's, you know, that's my hat's off to Dick and all that. So
he's a great guy.
how about the future? I mean, I know you got college.
Yeah,
on the mind.
college.
We got a girlfriend or anything?
Yeah, I do. I've had a girlfriend for about 2 years. So,
Really?
Yeah.
So you weren't going to go through this whole segment without mentioning her, were you?
No, I don't think so. I think she beat me up.
All right.
But she's great. She's always supported my racing, and you know, those late nights out on the car in the garage, you know, she's right there, you know. So
no, that's cool.
Gotta respect that, you know.
So we're going to run off to college here in the fall, but what about the racing? I mean, you hope to progress up from the strictly level, or are you content right there? I mean,
I'm kind of content. I mean, I love the division. I love, you know, I mean, it's racy enough and without getting, you know, crazy expensive. So I think, you know, that's huge, you know, and the division, it's going to be growing this year from what Bobby tells me, and I don't know, I'm content unless someone offers me a ride, but I mean, I don't have the money to really move up. So.
Yeah, but no, that's good, and you know, it's good to at least you can still race, you know, stay at this level. So you know, we got a lot of people up here in Maine that will travel down there to support the open wheel mods, and you know, now this gives them a chance to check somebody else out, and you know, so when you look at car number 8. You might not recognize the driver because what? Another week or so, the beard's gone.
It's
so
coming off.
You know, they're going to be saying, "Where's this Conor guy? Where's this Conor guy?" You know. So, but I want to thank you for taking the time coming with us here on Mainly Motorsports, and good luck this year. And we'll, you know, we're going to be down quite a few times because of the legends and following the mods. And you know, one of the nights we're actually going to bring the hardware, so maybe you can take home some Mainly Motorsports hardware.
Good deal. Great.
All right. So, like I said, folks, when you get down to Star Speedway, pay attention and look out for the number 8 in the Strictly's because. You're going to be winning races this year. That's Conor McDougall.
Today's vehicles are equipped with complex safety features such as anti-lock brakes, seatbelt restraints, and airbag systems. Even collision avoidance systems. Not available in all models. Hi, I'm Sean Moody from Moody's Collision Centers. We don't wish bad luck on anyone, but even with today's technology, we need to keep our eyes on the road and our hands on the wheel. Moody's Collision Centers, now with 6 convenient locations.
Where's the best place to get a new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram? Southern Maine Motors.
Hi, my name is Danielle, Customer Care Service Specialist at Southern Maine Motors. We are a local family-owned business. Our separation point in this busy market is our commitment to you. Satisfaction is not enough. Our goal is for you to become a store promoter because your kind words are stronger than over 100 TV commercials.
This Jeep Patriot Sport is only $13,225, or this Jeep Compass Sport for only $17,567. No other dealer is working as hard to be number 1 as Southern Maine Motors.
Mainly Motorsports.
Scotch Recreation. Whether you're thinking about your first camper or looking to upgrade your current one, Scotch Recreation can help you. Get both our Route 202 Manchester and our Route 4 Turner locations and online at scotchrecreation.com.
Northern Race Tire. Dealer for Sunoco Race Fuels. Distributed by New England Racing Fuel.
Well, we just, another jam-packed show. We just
ripped right through it.
Ripped right through it. But a lot going on this weekend. Star opens up with their regular Saturday night program.
Yep.
You know, obviously 95.
That outlaw division sounds like it's crazy.
It is. They had 23 cars that started, and I'm sure there's still other ones that are out there. So,
Right.
you know, I think it's going to be good. And then over at Oxford, they kick off their 2012 season. The ACT Tour rolls into town for their one and only appearance this year.
You know, I gotta bring something up about this. You know what I love about Oxford is he's a friend of both of us. It's Matt Sanborn.
Yeah.
Who races, and he's also the UP. Drive that truck, Dale. Yeah, that's what I always say to him.
Yeah.
But he put a post on Facebook like a week and a half ago or something. If anybody's looking to help, then I could use some help for the ACT opener at Oxford and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah, it would have been funny. We should have done it as like a segment for the show.
Yeah, Matt, reach out to us. I didn't see it. You know what I mean? That would have been neat. You know, you got a spotter. I don't know what I could do, but I can run a jack. I jacked a car once, and you know, so. And I did that a couple years ago with Mulker, and we did a segment, and I did a whole show from you know, the big race they had at Beechridge, and I worked on Mulkern's team, kind of show behind the scenes, you know. So yeah, you know, maybe
Mulkern had you working like a dog.
Hey, I got it done too.
He was probably laughing, sitting at home watching the show. He was probably laughing, watching you sweat like you were.
I got it done. So good luck to all the Oxford regulars, you know,
absolutely.
supporters of the show, and you know, now the young gun kicking off his season up there, Ryan Hewins, and you know, go check him out, and you know, just. Then you'll get to see him Friday night, anybody that comes to the party. So we're hoping we have a good, you know, come down and support these kids, you know. I mean, if you're a race fan, and, you know, whether you go to Oxford every week or Beechridge, and, you know, every track in the state is really represented. And that is the cool part.
Yeah.
Every part of the state has representation.
And if you show up, you know, bring something. Send Peggy a message on Facebook. Ask her if she needs something.
You know, and if you don't say, you know, that ain't the end of the world.
She's come gone out of her way to do this.
You know, it's not the end of the world. Call me up and say, listen, I'm coming. I ain't bringing nothing. Bring a little extra for me, and I'll bring it. You know, I'll put a few more cookies in my bag. But it's going to be a great time. So, you know, get out, support everything, local short track racing.
Right.
You know, and it's everywhere. You know, whether it's the lawnmowers, the go-karts, that's kicking off, and you know, it's just everything's going. And
you know,
something else that's going to be coming up here at Speedway 95, and me and you talked about the other day, Monster Jam.
Yeah.
And we're gonna next week we're gonna spend some more time talking about Monster Jam. You know, your chance to go see Gravedigger, Crustacean. I think Superman's coming. Some big trucks.
Right.
And I'll tell you, these kids go nuts. I mean, the adults go nuts. So, you know, first weekend in June, you know, Speedway 95 shuts down for racing. They go monster trucking.
Monster trucking, tearing up the infield.
Oh, it's
Some
huge.
cars,
It's huge. It's huge.
Filling the place. They have a lot of success with it. They've done it the last few years.
Yeah, they have.
And they have tons of success with it. You know, and you were talking about the Young Gun Party back a few minutes ago, and I want to mention one other thing about Archie. They ran 2 cars again at Darlington, and Josh Richards finished 25th, I believe, and Matt Fram, who races up here in the north, he finished 28th.
Yeah, so
in a nationwide race.
And I talked to Matt this past weekend at Star, and he said Darlington is everything they say it is and more. He says unbelievable.
And
so
Matt's a great kid, you know.
And we're going to get him on the show here, you know, and catch up with him again and talk a little bit more about, you know, how this has all evolved, and it's continuing to grow. He's getting more and more races.
Right. He's a nice young man, and he's got his head on straight, and everything's going good for him right now, and hopefully it keeps going good for him.
Yeah, so hopefully we see a lot of you guys at the Young Gun Party, and get out and support all your local events, support our sponsors. Go to our website. If you missed an episode in the past, go to mainlymotorsportstv.com. And for Greg, I'm Steve, and we're going to see you next time right here on Mainly Motorsports.